How's it, guys? This is Davey FPL and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. First of all, let me know if the audio and the video are looking fine. I've updated the settings of the live stream, so just let me know if everything's sounding Gucci, looking Gucci, and then we can head on to this Game Week 10 Deadline stream. As I mentioned, everything that's going to relate in this stream is going to be about Game Week 10. Obviously, the Deadline stream, 1 hour, specifically 55 minutes. I do apologize for being 5 minutes late. And the questions are coming in here. All good, perfect, thank you. I saw Holy Butter saying Captain Davey, but he didn't show up. So don't worry. I went to the bathroom for the first 5 minutes and I'm back on the pitch and we're going to hit a hattie. Don't worry. So thanks for joining this live stream. A little bit of a weird one. I don't know where you guys are around the world. You can actually drop where you are around the world. But for me, it's kind of a like an early afternoon live stream, which is a little bit weird. I'm kind of used to the more early, late morning live streams. So it's a really weird kind of kickoff time. I don't really know why it's happening, but we're going to deal with it how it is. But if it is slightly later for you, don't worry, you guys can jump off early if you want to go to bed. If the party's starting soon, you guys can also let me know. Or if you're just waking up, how are you guys doing? Did you get a good rest? Hopefully it didn't go too hard last night because actually you could have gone hard because Game Week 10 is a breeze. You guys might have some questions about your own teams, but for my team, I'm pretty set and forget for this game week. I made my transfer last night. I'll get onto that one, but if you guys do have any questions, drop them in the comments. As Captaincy has decided, we're all captaining Haaland, and the transfers in this week, you're either banking or you bring in Zaha, one of those options. So if you do have any concerns though, as always, drop them in the comments down below, and also do like the live stream if you are enjoying it. I know we're only 5 minutes in, but it does help the algorithm. But we got a lot of people in chat here. Nazcon saying "but or lacquer," so thank you. Good to know that the video and the audio are sounding better. Do you guys like the more information that I posted? I know you guys have been asking me for the rank on the live stream forever, so I finally remembered to do it a couple minutes before we went live. And then also I'm always asked about my squad value, so I decided to put it up there as well because that is going to kind of negate those questions. So let me know how it looks. If you guys are liking it, that should be fine. Kieran Little saying Florida 7:37 a.m. Were you affected by Hurricane Ian? Hopefully not, Kieran. Hopefully everything's good there. We have some fans in chat. How's it going? Says G-Ball, good in you. Isaac to whom? So Isaac's a tough one. I definitely probably would take him out now. I think last week was probably the best time to do it. I think a direct swap to Wilson is perfectly fine. I would also say if you want to go for Solanke, I think he's a fine option at his price point. But definitely look at your future transfers because I think the future transfers are going to detail what move you're going to make. Because if you can't afford the Wilson move and you don't want Trent, you don't want Salah in a few game weeks time, then go for it. But if you do want that extra cash in your bank like myself, that's why I did Isaac to Solanke, because I wanted that extra value to potentially get in Trent and Salah come game week 12. Greetings from Zim to Fatswa. Thanks for joining. Near neighbors to South Africa, so nice that we're getting some Southern African viewers. No info like more info, says Aaron Fernandez. I don't know what you're referring to there, but that is true. That you can quote that one, Aaron. Brought in Zaha for Saka and you from Scotland. So that gives me a little bit of a reminder there about my transfer. So I made it last night, confirmed it over on Discord. It was going to be Zaha in for Saka. Unfortunately, it didn't look like Zaha was going to rise in price, but then come about 5 minutes before I went to bed, I saw that he actually was. So I made that switch quite late last night. So we managed to catch the price rise, but if you guys didn't, I wouldn't be too affected by it. I think that you can simply just even take that 0.1 on the chin. I think he's still a great price at 7.4. I think he's 7.4 right now. So that should be fine. I wouldn't be put off him just because of the price rise. You guys can also go for Jared Bowen if you wanted to have some funds. You can see I've got 2 million in the bank. I've got this very wrong. Okay, there we go. There, 2 million in the bank. So I could have afforded a Jared Bowen, but I opted for Zaha because of those nice fixtures. But Bowen's equally, if not a better option for the short term. And then you can always just keep Saka. I was discussing, or someone posted on the Discord this morning, they said they missed the price rise, so they might just want to keep Saka, which I'm 100% fine with. Liverpool, they're probably going to score against Liverpool, to be honest, tomorrow. And then they have Leeds away, which Zaha's Leeds at home this week. So kind of an equal fixture there. But the thing about Saka that I like is that if you do Saka to Zaha this week, come game week 13, you can bring Saka back in for Maddison when the fixtures get a little bit tougher. So, for example, I'll show you here. I think you guys should be able to see this. Yeah, you should be able to. So Southampton and Nottingham Forest in 13 and 14, and Madison in 13 and 14 has Wolves and Man City. So these fixtures on paper aren't that strong. Then he has Everton and then West Ham. So I think the Madison to Saka move come game week 13, 14 will be quite popular. So it's not kind of saying goodbye to Saka forever. We're just saying bye for the next 3 game weeks. Loving the red star next to my name, says Wilson. So great. Happy that you are enjoying it. Unfortunately, it will change as you are a member for longer. So if you do like the red star, maybe message me and I can change it around. So I might put the red star for your next milestone as well. I'm so sorry about that one. Tarang saying, Davey, should I do Sufal to Zuma, as I'm not sure about Sufal after the previous game. So what I would do, Tarang, is go check predicted lineups. Just type predicted lineups West Ham, and then there should be a couple of news articles. Just go look what they're predicting, because if they're predicting that Sufal will start, then I think he's fine. It's just quite sideways for me, the Sufal to Zuma move. I might differentiate it a bit and just maybe go, instead of Zuma, go for someone like a Gay from Crystal Palace, just to make it a slightly different. Should we start looking at Aubameyang and you from Joburg? So thanks, Bruce, for joining from sunny Joburg today. Very hot. I will say, okay, so Sufal played 90 minutes as Jojo's range. Yeah, then I'd probably take Sufal out. Zuma's a fine replacement, but I think I might look for game week 12 security, and that's why I probably would go for Gay instead, Tarang. I will say I might put my fan on slightly later. It's just a bit hot here. So I will put it on and I'll let you guys know. And if it is annoying, just let me know. I'm the highest star among your subs. Can you make my tier blue? I will go check, G-Ball, but I think it gives you a max limit. So I will check how many I currently have. But I think 2 years might be the highest that I have right now. So if you have that star, then yes, you are the highest. Kieran saying a little bit of roof damage, but I got lucky. Cheers, so that's great to hear, Kieran. Been a few weeks since I tuned in. Well, glad to have you back, brother. Hopefully you are keeping well. Keeping the vice captain on Kevin De Bruyne or Madison. So G-Bot, it was a little bit of an interesting one, because I thought to myself, who do I want as my vice captain? And I want De Bruyne as my vice captain. I understand that, let's just say some freak accident happens and the Man City game is called off. But what I might do is I might wait for as long as possible, and then if the game looks like it's going ahead, then I'll just probably keep it on De Bruyne. But I understand from a safety reason, probably put on Madison. Gay or Mitchell for Saliba, or Tony and Gross for Solanke and Zaha Aladapo. Tony and Gross. I don't like Tony and Gross because Gross has nice figures coming up. Tony is equally fine. I might just do the Gay for Saliba move. Between Mitchell and Gay is not too much. I would probably just go for Gay, as I think that he offers a little bit of attacking threat. Shahil saying, hey Davey, how long do you plan to keep Zaha for? Till game week 16. So you guys can see the fixtures here. Look pretty strong up until game week 16. I think you want to keep him till game week 16 because you're Nottingham Forest away, which is a plum fixture. You probably want to keep him after that, but you guys know before game week 17 we have that second wild card. But I'll keep him for the long term, to be honest. So that's my current strategy with Zaha. That's why I did bring him in. I also want to say that I do have the chocolate milk, and you know why I had to do it, because last week was a banger. We got about like a 50% rank rise, and that was the first week this season I've had it. So you know that this week's about to be a banger because we have the chocolate milk. Justin or Mitrovic to start. This is a dilemma, and I've been fluctuating between starting Mitrovic and benching him for Zuma. I currently have him on my team. The reason I'm worried is that if he is injured, let's just say that he's not fit enough to start, but then he might come off for some minutes late onto the fixture, or if he is fit enough to start, but then gets taken off early like he did in Game Week 9. That's probably worst case scenario. That's why I might just want to start Zuma. But I think I might just play Mitrovic and just hope that if he does play, he does start the fixture. Makes more sense probably because he is carrying this knock that if he's not fit, he won't play at all, whereas if he is fit, he will start. But I am slightly concerned because you could even argue if Mitrovic is guaranteed to play, maybe Zuma's clean sheet odds are better. It's a tough one, and I can understand why you guys might have a dilemma, but what I would probably say is just play him and then just hope that he doesn't start. Would you start Ward if you have Tony who's playing Pope, says James. Yeah, so this is what I spoke about in the team selection, is like, right now for me, I'm starting Pope because I don't own Tony. I don't own any Brentford attacks, so I almost hope that they're blank. Whereas if you do own Tony, there's two ways to look at it. You can play conservatively, and you can say, listen, I hope one of them does well. So either Tony scores or Pope gets a clean sheet. And then you're almost guaranteeing that you might get one side of the coin. Or you could play the odds and just say, listen, I hope that Tony scores and Pope loses the clean sheet. Therefore, I'm going to play Danny Ward. For me, I own Solanke, so I'm almost doing that. But if you do own Tony, I would probably say maybe go for a Danny Ward. But I do think the Brentford attack is going to face a stronger Newcastle defense than Bournemouth will. I think Leicester's defense is slightly worse than Newcastle's. So it's a tough one, but I think it depends if you want to be conservative or not. Bailey to Zaha and Mitro to Skamaka, or Martinelli to Zaha and keep one. So can't you afford Bailey to Zaha? If you're gonna do Bailey to Zaha in one move, I'd just probably do that, but you probably can't, Abhilash. So just let me know if you can do it in one move, and that'll probably be better. Wilson, what's your plan for the next few game weeks? So right now, game week 11 is probably maybe banking the transfer. I don't think I have too many concerns there. I'm going to just play out Liverpool, Man City and hope that it's high scoring. And then game week 12, I'll bring Salah in for De Bruyne. I might also bring Trent in, but I don't know. I just don't like the look of the Liverpool defense at the moment. Solanke or Daka. I think if you don't have Solanke, I would go for him rather. I think Daka's too much of a minutes risk. The only way I would go for Daka is if you're taking Mitrovic out like my kind of team setup. So you already own Haaland, you own Solanke already, then I would go for Daka, but if it's a choice between the two, I'd go for Solanke. De Bruyne captain, am I mad for doing this? Let's solo, I would, on a normal game week, I probably would say it's fine, but I just feel like it's such a risk this week, especially because you're captaining a player from the same fixture. So chances are if De Bruyne does well, Haaland is probably going to do well as well. And therefore, I would just say go for Haaland, and then De Bruyne's points will be differential already. You guys have to have massive courage to not captain Haaland this week. I posted a tweet earlier. Fantasy Football Fix does this predictions of captains, and the top 10k, top 100k, their predicted captain is 100% for Haaland. So you can be that one out of whatever, 1 out of 100,000, but it's just super risky. And that's why I'd say just stick it on him. There's no reason not to captain Haaland unless you guys want to gain some rank. It's just, as I said, I can't advise you to go anywhere but Haaland. Can't do Bailey to Zaha. Skamaka looks in touch. That's fine to do then. I'd say if you don't own Solanke, then maybe go for Solanke rather. But I can understand the Bailey to Zaha move's quite a good upgrade. Mitrovic to Martial. I think Martial will score at least 2 goals. So Nikhil, some advice here in terms of your gut. If you think that Martial scores 2 goals, then go for him. I personally don't like Man United's fixtures, and that's why I'm not looking at him. But if you like the look of him, then 100%. And that's where, like, if you're telling me that you think he's going to score 2 goals, I won't disagree with you. I might disagree with you on the 2 goals, but in terms of your own gut, that's what you're kind of looking at. I have 2 free transfers. Who do I bring in? Have 0 in the bank. Miguel, I don't know your team, brother. So I can't tell you. But if you don't own someone like a Zaha, I would try to bring him in. Maybe a Bowen even if you don't. That's what I would try to do with those 2 free transfers. But your team probably looks pretty good. Solanke or Cucurella. I think Cucurella in this case. If he does start, I think he's got a higher seeding than Solanke does. But it's a very kind of tight one there. Guaita or Ward, Mitrovic or Gay. So Dexter, it's hard for me to say because Crystal Palace's defense has been pretty shocking. If you guys have watched the Ultimate Guide, their XG conceded is pretty bad, but they have had some tough fixtures. I genuinely, on paper, I trust Crystal Palace more than Leicester, but I think that Leeds' attack is better than the Bournemouth attack. So I would almost say I would probably go for it's slightly Ward-sided, I'd say maybe, and then I'd start Mitrovic over Gay because I don't know about the centre-back pairing there. Whereas with Zuma and Mitrovic, it's like if Mitrovic doesn't play, Zuma's chance of a clean sheet goes up even more. Mitrovic update. I saw something over on Twitter this morning, which I will go and check out for you guys. It was something about potentially like not traveling, but I will go and see. If you do see anything over on Twitter, you can also just let me go. Okay, so I don't see anything much about Mitrovic. Yeah, so I don't see anything about Mitrovic potentially. But I will update you guys. But I don't know if we'll get early team news on that one. Almiron for Bailey. That's potentially a fine move. He's in some good form. I think it's easy with Bailey because he's injured or he's a knock. Why does everyone have Solanke now? He's just cheap. He's like a cheap enabler that plays. So that's why we have him at the current moment. And there has been a little bit of the switch up. So the midfielders right now, the midfielder bracket on 8 million is a lot more popular than the strikers are. So a few game weeks ago, everyone was wanting a Mitrovic, a Tony, a Solanke, that sort of thing. But now there's been a little bit of a switch up. So the forwards have a decreased sort of value in FPL managers' eyes, and that's why Solanke is in most people's teams. The thing about him not traveling was a Charles. He travels tomorrow, not today. JoJo's event. Yeah, thanks. I did actually see that. I don't want to repeat it because I did see that. I might have read into it. I saw the chocolate. You're living the dream. I said last week was the first time we had this Theory Stumpy on stream, and we got a massive score, nearly 100 points. So this week, hopefully the same happens. So this is the new Salah shirt, the chocolates Theory Stumpy. Okay, cool. Thanks for the clear up, guys. In terms of that. Fatality saying Pope or Kepa, Watkins or Wilson. I'd go Kepa. I think Wolves are struggling, especially with Neto out. So I think Kepa, if he starts, has a high chance of a clean sheet. And Watkins or Wilson, I'd say Wilson. I trust Wilson a bit more of a talisman. And Aston Villa can't really score at the moment. How's it, Davey says Genghis the Khan saying start Ward in place of Pope if I'm starting Tony as well. This is a super tough one. I hope there's not too much of a points difference between them, but I would say I would lean slightly between the more maverick approach of playing the odds and hoping that Tony does well and Newcastle concede. But it's a risky one because, as I said, it depends if you're a conservative manager or if you're more of a maverick manager. What changes today? Late. I made my changes last night, Adam. I took Zaha in for Saka. Hey, Jake Singh, how you doing? Start Ake. Oh, who starts? Ake or Sergio Gomez. So last number, as far as I know, the predicted lineups were that Ake will probably play, as Sergio Gomez has played midweek. So I wouldn't be confident on bringing him in. But if you want to decide between Ake and Gomez today, Ake probably starts. James saying, legend, missing SA in a cold Norway. So James, if you were here, you probably wouldn't miss it. Unless you were in like a Cape Town. Because then it's a little bit colder. But Gauteng has been about 35. So it's a little bit steamy. But I can imagine Norway's pretty cold. That's quite a difference, SA to Norway. So that's quite interesting travel plan there. No worries, Genghis. Backing Eze to outscore Zaha, says Philip. Okay, that's cool. So did you bring in Eze instead of Zaha? It's a little bit of a differential. Surya saying, hey Davey, play my wild card. What's a better combo? Mitro and Andreas or Gomez and Solanke? Trossard and Solanke is a better combo. Mitro, I think over the long term will outperform, but I don't think Andreas will. But the thing about Andreas that you must remember is please don't spend a lot of money on your bench, because Andreas is probably going to be on your bench most game weeks. But if he is in your starting 11 currently, then I'd go for Trossard, Solanke, but just be wary of that bench value. That's what I'll say. Last number. Thanks, David. It's been a while. Good luck. Thank you. You too, last number. Hopefully this isn't the last time I'm seeing you. So hopefully it's the first number time that you'll be in the stream for. Married on Norwegian salmon. She was a good catch. I hope she's watching this, James. I hope she's watching this. But I'll back you on Twitter if you reach out to her. Replace Bowen for Madison. No, I would keep either side. So if you have Bowen, Luke, keep him. If you have Madison, keep Madison. Thoughts on Trossard? I like Trossard, just not this week. I think that Spurs fixture is quite a tough one. But the fixtures upcoming are super nice, especially game week 12. They face Nottingham Forest as far as I know. So that should be good. Edouard instead of Solanke, wish me luck. Ibrahim, good luck. Hopefully it's a good one. Bowen or Trossard? I would go Bowen for the short term. You can always make the switch a little bit later on, but I don't know. It's an interesting one. I still want to see how Trossard sets up with Brighton. I know that they just drew to Liverpool, massive result there, but Liverpool also pretty bad at the moment. Anderson or Cash, only for game week 10 and 12, probably Anderson. Is Matty Cash back? I know he was training, but is he nailed to start this week? Mitrovic or Gay, Guita ready on goal. I'd start Mitrovic and then just hope that he doesn't, if he does feature, he's going to start. And then you can always just get Gay off the bench. We putting Zuma first or Andreas? Zuma 100%, because if Zuma comes on, then the clean sheet chance is good. And if he does come on, then it means that Mitrovic didn't start. And I don't like Andreas without Mitrovic. Andreas or Cash? Okay, so Hamada, hopefully I already answered that for you. Maguire or Haaland? Al Pacino, this is a tough one. I might stick the captaincy on Maguire this week, But vice-captain Haaland, because Maguire should hopefully be getting nowhere near that starting 11, and therefore you should get your vice-captain. But just make sure it doesn't come off the bench. But definitely Haaland. Just a freak of nature. Do you play Champions League Fantasy? I don't, Hector. I used to. But then I just got a little bit like caught up too much in fantasy, and I don't know if you guys are the same, but when I watch football and I have fantasy picks, it almost like ruins it slightly for me, because then I'm getting like mad that my player missed a chance, or like Salah scores a banger and I don't have him, and then I'm like upset. So I prefer watching Champions League for what it is, and that's just pure football entertainment. But I will be playing the World Cup. I like the World Cup format because it's super condensed, only a couple of weeks and then it's done, whereas the Champions League is quite prolonged. But if you do play it, I mean, it's a fun game mode. I enjoy the switch up. Did you answer it, Ahmad? I did. I said Anderson because I don't know if Matty Cash is back, but if he is back, then I would go for him. Lucy saying, Davey, don't you think starting Mitrovic is risk for 1 point appearance? I do think so. And that's why I had Zuma initially, but I don't know. Like, I just feel like if he doesn't start, he probably won't come on. Like, why would they risk that? But yeah. Hussein, I didn't play UCL Fantasy 2. So you see, there are some of us. I also have a poll. I just noticed I have a poll. How many goals does Haaland get today? So most of you are saying 2. More people are saying 3 and 3+ than 1 goal. I would probably say 2 goals. I'd agree with you guys. Would you trade Tony for Callum Wilson? No, I would probably just keep Tony, to be honest. Please, Pope and Martinelli or Guaita and Zaha. I'd say Guaita and Zaha on the 2 free transfers. But it's hard to lose Martinelli because, one, he has great value, so you probably have a lot of value stacked in him. And you want some Arsenal coverage because they're the second best attack in terms of XG non-penalty this season. So I would sway slightly there, but I do think on 2 free transfers, the better pairing is the latter one. Al Pacino saying, only joking, best of luck, good luck to you too, Al Pacino. Start Mitrovic, Andreas or Neko. Mitrovic, Gabriel Jesus or Martinelli or Pereira. Whom to start? Gabriel Jesus definitely, and Martinelli as well. Anurag. Best wildcard team for this week, John Doe. That's quite hectic. I would say I would switch it up. I would go Haaland, Solanke, Mitrovic, same front 3. I would go Zaha, De Bruyne, Martinelli, Maddison, Bowen. And then I would go for the same back line as I have, but not Pope in goal. I'd go Guaita in goal. And then I would play a 3-5-2. Do you have enough value for that? You probably don't, but that's what I would say. I'd say a 3-5-2 with Solanke, Haaland this week, and then that stacked 5 in midfield. That's my current thinking. Olaf saying best replacement for Isaac under 7 million. Is it only Solanke or someone else? It's Solanke, Daka, or there are like a Martial option, but I'd stay between Solanke and Daka. If you don't have Solanke, I just get him in. Any plans for Foden? Philip, I would downgrade De Bruyne to Foden, but I think that's a bit sideways right now. So what I might do is when I bring Salah in, I might, instead of going for Saka for Maddison, I might go Foden for Maddison. Just seeing how it kind of adjusts over the next few game weeks. What do you think of Cucurella as an option? Hugh, I would like some more clarity on that Chelsea lineup before I commit to one. I think James is fine to go for. Fofana looked fine until he got injured, but Chol and Cucurella might rotate, so I don't know. Good luck. I asked the missus to watch it, but just got told to put on headphones on. Can't win them all, James. That is sad. But you say she's a catch, so I'll take your word for it. But if she doesn't, she's a 10, but she doesn't like Davey FPL. I mean, that's a downgrade. Play Mitro Gay. Right now I'm on like the bandwagon of just starting Mitrovic and just having your bench coverage. But I'm almost hoping that we might get some news. Probably not though, because they play tomorrow. But if we do get some news about traveling, then maybe we can switch it out. Whom would be best to start? Zuma, Dunk, or Neko? Zuma, 100%. I don't trust Neko anymore, Shamir, and Dunk is playing Spurs. Is Tony a sell this week? No, he's not a sell unless you want to make a big upgrade. Like, if you don't own Haaland, obviously it's a sell, but I think Tony's fine. Vincent saying any electricity outages. So load shedding ended at 9 this morning. I've had it for like about a month, I swear. You South Africans can also say in chat how long we've had it. But yeah, we've had load shedding for so long. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically when the government cuts the power because they can't generate enough. So luckily today it ended. So, you know, fingers crossed that it continues to be stopped. Does Sufal Emerson start? Apparently Sufal played 90 minutes this midweek, so I wouldn't be super confident on a start. So I would say probably Emerson then. What do you think about captaining Salah? Cyrus, I think that unless you like 6th millionth, then maybe. But I don't know. Ronaldo's saying too long. What's too long? Sorry. Harvey Barnes, good choice. Yeah, Harvey Barnes is fine, but I think Harvey Barnes last week would have been a lot better than this week. I know, obviously, hindsight, but you wanted it for those 2 lovely fixtures, whereas now he's lost Nottingham Forest. So, yes, he does have Bournemouth, but if you can bring in someone like Azar, I'd rather go for him. What do you think about Harvey Barnes for Saka? Same kind of decision as Gunnar there. If you don't have a Zaha, I would prefer him. If you don't have Madison, I'd bring him over Harvey Barnes. If you don't have Bowen, I might even consider him a better option. Ronaldo saying load shedding going on for too long. Yes, exactly. It has been going on for too long. Hey, Davey, who would you start? Sufal or Mitrovic? Mitrovic. Sufal, I don't even know if he's going to play, Christian. Almost doing Gay for Sufal from -4. Not very confident on a Palace. Yeah, I wouldn't do that for a -4. Unless it's like a super good fixture and the player's attacking threat. But Gay in for Sufal from -4 isn't worth it, I think. I'm worried about a Mitrovic cameo 1 point. What do you think? That was my initial thoughts. So initially I thought that maybe he comes on if, like, say Fulham are losing and he wasn't fit enough to start, but he could come off the bench. But I just don't know why they would risk him. Unless it's a super tight game or something like that. But yeah, I am worried slightly about it, and it's definitely a possibility, but I'm hoping it's a possibility that doesn't happen. Leon saying any team news for Chelsea and City yet? I can go check for you, but as far as I know, nothing. I don't think we get much Chelsea and City team news usually. Nothing so far. Yeah, I don't see anything as of now. Just seeing a picture of lightning. So that's definitely not not early City or Chelsea team news. Yeah, nothing at the moment, guys. So I'm sorry. I'm not the ITK streamer. There are others that are, but hopefully I'm more entertaining. Newcastle defensive double up or Tony. If it's Pope, then it's not even a double up. So I think a lot of people are like worried about the double up with Newcastle. But remember, goalkeeper is completely different because a goalkeeper can get you save points, penalty saves, that sort of thing. So I wouldn't classify that as a double up. I'd say like Botman and Trippier as more of a double up. But if it was my team, I might just play Tony and then bench one of the double up defenders. Because I think that to me just makes more sense. It's almost like because then you're almost banking for one of your options to blank. And I don't like that. I like hoping that my entire team returns. So what you could hope for is that Tony gets a penalty, gets saved by Pope, then he scores the rebound. That could be. Bailey to Bone for a free. That's 100% Zubai. It looks like a good move. I'm thinking about using the triple captain on Haaland. Bad idea. Leon, I think that it's not the worst idea in the world, but I know, so the first point might be completely redundant because everyone's captaining Haaland every week. But there's the old kind of debate of you want to use your triple captain in a week that's slightly more differential because then, for example, then it's just one set of points. If everyone's captaining Haaland, the triple captain is one extra set of points, whereas if no one's captaining Haaland, it's like a massive differential move. So there's that argument, but if everyone's captaining Haaland from now till game week 38 anyways, who kind of cares? But the other debate is that there might be a double game week heading up, and I think I might favor him slightly more then. For me, it seems like you want Haaland in a game week where he's going to play the most minutes because the most minutes is going to equal goals. He's just a machine at the current moment. So I would say double game week is still my preference, but it might be a hot move to go for because Haaland is looking on good form. I think we might get some early team news. Not sure which fixture. Yeah, I think we might get some, but it might be like James is starting and then we're going to be like, bruh, we already knew that kind of. Touch wood that James actually does play now. Any other defender suggestions that are Sufal for -4 then? Tarang, I don't think there's any options for a -4 that I'd go for this week. I don't like going for a defender for a -4. Same as a goalkeeper. I don't think it's worth it. Who's your bench? If you have no bench coverage, then maybe. But do you have like an Andres Pereira or someone that you could start instead, Tarang? Start Justin or Mitrovic. I just play Mitrovic and then just have Justin first subbed. Because I just don't know if I trust that Leicester defense. And basically what I'm hoping is that either he plays or he's like rested. Like that's my two scenarios that I'm hoping for. But I don't know if that's plausible or not. Dimitros saying I have Mitrovic but prefer benching him and do Andreas to Dewsbury Hall. Thoughts on this move? That's a fine move to go for. Dewsbury Hall might tick along nicely for you. Not my entire favorite option, but yeah. Timothy saying, hey, Sterry Stumpy. Hey, Tim, you got to know that this is the good luck charm. So hopefully this is going to be a good week. Benches Pereira and Neko. Yeah, I just play Pereira then instead of taking a -4. Because your -4 could be Pereira getting a 2-pointer. But you know what I'm saying? A -4 would be a clean sheet for that defender. What do you think about Diego Carlos for Game Week 11? Is Diego Carlos back? Because as far as I remember, he had like a knee injury and got surgery. But if he is back, then maybe. But I might wait and see if he actually plays. I heard Neko Williams not a sure start anymore. Yeah, so the thing that happened with Neko Williams is that he was benched. No, he wasn't benched. He was subbed at half-time against Leicester. And then Serge Aurier came on. So for me, that's obviously a red flag. So I'm a little bit worried about him, to be honest. What brand of chocolate milk do you drink? So it's a South African brand. You can see it's called Sterry Stumpy. Don't know what that even translates to. Like, it's just the name they give it. But yeah, it's like I don't think you guys have it overseas. You might, but I think it's a South African thing. Thoughts on Aubameyang? I think if you guys want like a wild card or you want to take a punt, I'm fine with it. I actually saw over on Fantasy Football Fix on their Elite XI team reveal, one of the managers, I think it was Ginger Assassin, he's using his wild card. And he had Aubameyang in. So I said that's a nice move to go for. I think it's worth it if you want to take a punt. Because as I mentioned, the forwards now are pretty reduced. But I think if Mitrovic is back for next week and Solanke is ticking along nicely, then it makes Aubameyang slightly worse of an option. Got the missus to watch 10 minutes. She asked why you don't have Odegaard, classic Norwegian. Okay, so at least she knows Odegaard, I guess. But yeah, at least I have Haaland. She must be quite happy about that. Andrew saying, what does your team name mean? Did Komeis to? So basically what it means is it's coming home, but in Afrikaans. It's one of the languages in South Africa. So it's a play on words there, because you know like the England fans always say it's coming home. So yeah, it's just my like version of it. Hey Davey, how are you? I'm good, thanks, and you? Your thoughts please on playing Ward instead of Pope this week. So my current thinking on Pope versus Ward, the only way I would do it is that if you guys do own Mbumo or Ivan Toney, therefore you are playing the odds, you're basically saying that you hope that Ivan Toney scores and that Pope loses his clean sheet, and therefore you have Danny Ward in goal. So that's the only reason I would do it, and then it's a bit of a risk. Kulusevski went fit or Madison? Madison, because he's fit right now, Mpo. Good to see a fellow old boy doing the most. Thank you, I do appreciate it. So the thing about that I would say is that with Madison, he's good now, whereas Kulusevski, we don't even exactly know where he's going to be back. So I would even do that transfer if you still have Kulusevski. I have Saliba. If I bench Mitrovic, play Saliba. So I wouldn't play Saliba. I would play Mitrovic and then bench Saliba, because Nazib, what you're basically saying is you weren't planning to play Saliba anyway, so any points that he gets are going to be bonus because Mitrovic didn't play. So that's what I would say. Unless you're super confident on your option outperforming Mitrovic, which in my case might happen. The Zuma clean sheet odds might have even been better than Mitrovic's scoring odds in this fixture. So that's where I'm kind of contemplating about what to do. But I think right now, I'm just hoping that if he doesn't start, he doesn't come off the bench. Who should I start between Mitrovic and Perisic? Please help me. I'd start Perisic, to be honest. I'll treat you a chocolate milkshake. Thanks, Vincent. So I'd say I'd go for Perisic. I don't think there's a reason why I'd bench Perisic this week. Do you think Liverpool will use the 4-4-2 system going forward? Which players should you target? I think the 4-4-2, Chet, and I think they might use the system they played in the Champions League, which was the 4-2-3-1, which is slightly more attacking, and I think it might give slightly more support out wide, which, Liverpool have been doing that anyways, but I don't know about the 4-4-2 system. If they do go 4-4-2 with Salah up top, though, then I think Salah's a much better option. First bench option between Andreas and Emerson, I'd go Emerson. Emerson, if he starts the fixture, is better than Andreas, I think. I'm completely bearish on Andreas Pereira right now. I was slightly bullish, but now with Willian back in the team, he's lost all that chance creation of those set pieces. 10-day thoughts on Aubameyang. I like him as a punt, but I'm not super confident on him. But as I said, if you guys are on a wild card, have 2 free transfers, that sort of thing, want to take a punt, then 100%. But yeah, Chelsea aren't the most free scoring team at the moment. I know they did quite well against AC Milan, so this might be the resurgence of them, but I'd like to see Aubameyang for maybe 1 or 2 more game weeks. Martinelli to Zaha this week, or keep and bench in 12, a wild card in 13. If you're going to wild card in 13, I'd sell Martinelli for Zaha this week. Because what you're getting is you're going to get him back in 13 anyways, and then you can just maybe spread some value. But I think the points gained over that move might be to your advantage. What about Chilwell? Chilwell or Cucurella seems to be the consensus at that left wing back slot or left back slot. So I want to wait and see what happens there. That's why I've just stuck with Reece James, because I'm confident of him starting. Thoughts on Neco Williams clean sheet? Wilson, I'm not even confident that Neco Williams is going to start the fixture, so I wouldn't be too confident on him. Today's changes, Saka to Zaha. I made that yesterday, but yes, that was the change. Also, Kane or Aubameyang on wildcard. Kane, because you can captain him in Game Week 11 when Man City face Liverpool. But saying that, though, you're probably going to captain Haaland anyways, because Liverpool's defense is terrible. Start Ward or Guaita. On paper, the fixtures for Danny Ward, Bournemouth have a lot worse kind of attacking threat than Leeds do. But I trust Crystal Palace's defense slightly more. I think because of the opponent, I slightly might edge towards Danny Ward. But if you do own Solanke, then go for Guaita. 1 pointer from Mitro, hopefully not. Flip. I'll check Twitter in about 10 minutes time, and then we might make a switch. Actually, I can end the poll. I'll end this poll because this one is so 39% said that he's going to score. So let's say bench Mitrovic. Kane and Bowen to KDB and Solanke. No, I'd keep Kane and Bowen, Cole. What are your potential changes for next week? Not pool players, hopefully. So, Adam, no. Next week might be a bank. I might bank the transfer. And then I might use it in Game Week 12 on Trent and Salah, which you might not be too pleased about, Adam. But I'm looking to bring Salah in come Game Week 12 for KDB. That's what I'll say. Salah or Haaland captain? Haaland captain, Tung. Thoughts on Jesus, says Daryl. I'm fine with him as an option. I wouldn't bring him in. I just keep him. It's not a priority for a transfer out for me, but I don't think I'd bring him in. Sufal or Andreas as the first sub. Cheers, Booty, says Gareth. I'd probably put Sufal first sub. I don't think he's going to play anyways, though, so then Andreas will be your first sub. But I think I'd bank on Sufal starting over Andreas, probably. It's a tough one. I'm hoping that there's not too much dilemma there for you, Gareth. I think Zuma would be better to play since Mitro will be in doubt, in my opinion. So that is true. Haaland is too good to let go as a captain at the moment. Yes, you have to be a little bit crazy to not captain him. But I sometimes like crazy. Crazy can work in FPL. Melvin's saying, like the stream, people. You can like the stream if you want to help me out with the algorithm a bit. But you don't have to if you're not enjoying it, I guess. How do you rate Ward this week? Harry, I obviously don't rate him that much because I'm starting Solanke and I'm hoping that he scores. But I think that there is a chance of a clean sheet, to be honest. Bournemouth are just too bad. I would have preferred it if it was a home fixture for Leicester, but because it is an away game, I see Bournemouth scoring for some reason. Okay, Leon's just answering Daniel in chat. Rashi thoughts. I'm a little bit similar with all the assets from United. The fixtures for me aren't appetizing enough for me to go for them. I think I just want to see them have a bit better run of fixtures for me to potentially go for them. I just think that midfield slot, there's a lot of options that you could potentially go for that are better at slightly more expensive of a price. Like if you don't own Zaha and you can afford him, I'd definitely go for him over Rashford. Last update on Mitrovic. I'll give you the last update with about in the next 5 minutes because right now it's not. It's quarter past, so I'll give it as much time. But if you guys do see something over on Twitter, do let me know. Bowen or Foden? I would go for Bowen this week just because of the blank. I hope that this week, because a lot of people would probably look at Foden, but now they're not because of the blank. And I hope this isn't one of those situations where Foden goes on a massive run and you didn't get him because he blanks in Game Week 12, which does happen. I just think that from a logic point of view, you have to go for Bowen rather, just because even though he does play Liverpool, that's a good fixture now. So I always will go for logic side of things, but stranger things have happened, and you might find that Foden completely bangs and outscores Bowen by quite a large margin. Is Soufal good for this game week? Apparently he played 90 minutes midweek, so I wouldn't be super confident, and it seems like there is a bit of rotation there in those fullback positions. Bench Perisic or Mitro? I would bench Mitrovic. I'd play Perisic. So a lot of people are actually asking this. A lot of you must own Perisic, but I finally would play him 100%. Tony, Mitro, Soufal, one to bench. I'd bench Soufal, definitely debated. Would you start Solanke or Gay? I'd probably go for the attacker. I'd go for Solanke. Who's better for the first bench, Neko or Andreas? Probably Andreas. I don't think Neko will get much this week. I'd be surprised if Nottingham Forest keep a clean sheet anytime soon. Mitro spotted with the Serbian national team coach, Stokovic. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Looked content, and I reckon came to London to watch Mitrovic play, not just chat. Okay, that Nanad says that apparently he was sighted with the Serbian coach, so that could be true. Will Soufal start? I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are asking this. So what I can go and do for you guys, I'll go and look for you at some West Ham predicted lineups. Let me check this predicted lineup. Okay, so they have okay, so the predicted lineup from 90 minutes is going to be Kara, Dawson, Zuma, and Cresswell. So that is one, and then I think there was another one I saw over on Twitter. Yeah, so I don't think that Soufal starts this week, to be honest, guys. Like, if I have to give you my prediction, I don't think he plays. I think that Kara will be on the right and Chris will be on the left. So, yeah. Should I take a -4 for Luis Diaz to Madison? No, man. I would just play what you have. Hus saying Zuma clean sheet odds 37%. I don't really always know about those betting odds, but yeah, I don't even know if this is good or bad. This from In the Know. No, it's not from In the Know. It's just the prediction. But it just makes sense for me if Soufal play 90 minutes and you have two fresh left and right backs that can just feature. That's what I'd say. Hus saying Soufal, so Zuma clean sheet odds 37%, Mitro goal odds 22%. So Zuma might actually be the better option to actually play then. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'll just run with what I have at the current moment. Because right now, I think that Mitrovic, if he does start, I think he does have some good potential, to be honest. Zaha, not essential, I don't think. He's a great player, but never guaranteed goals like that. Like others, high chances the one that gets it. So that is true. Like, I don't think Zaha's essential, but I think if you're going to make a midfielder transfer, he does look quite strong. High says, I have 3.6 saved to go Sterling. However, would it be better to go Billing to Foden this week? Okay, that could be fine. It depends on how your team is setting up. If you want to use that this week and you need him in your starting 11, then that should be fine. Tarang saying, hoping Mitrovic starts. My Soufal problem will be solved. What I'm hoping for, as I said, if Mitrovic doesn't start, he just must please not come off the bench. Because then we have Zuma off the bench. So we got to hold thumbs or hold fingers for that one. Isaac to Wilson, yeah, 100%. I don't think Isaac will play this week. Mitrovic for Tony. Are you saying Mitrovic in for Tony out? I wouldn't do that. I just keep whoever you have. In the Know says Harry Pierce. Did someone ask what ITK means? If Zuma comes in to replace Mitro, why not? Oh, okay. Wait, why not Nico as third sub over Andreas? So I'm fine with the current bench setup because I'm just hoping that my second and third bench options aren't used. But I guess in terms of that might be fine. Dwayne's saying Davey, Bowen or Zar, but Dwayne, I went for Zar, so obviously I'm going to back him. But yeah, both of those are fine. If you think Bowen will outscore Zar over the next few, then that's fine. Play Mitro cameo at most or play 90 minutes Justin. I'd play Mitrovic. I'd only play your bench option if it's like Perisic, because Perisic for me will get more points than Mitrovic if both of them played. So that's why I'm fine with Perisic, but I can't tell you that Justin or Zuma will outscore Mitrovic if both of them played the fixture. Raya to Guaita for one free transfer. I'd probably just keep Raya, to be honest. I think the Brentford games are that bad, but if you need a transfer to burn, then maybe go for it. What do you think about Rashford? All the United assets are the same for me. I just want to see a bit more from them. Diaz, Gordon, Zinchenko. Anyone to bench. Who do Everton play this week? Everton play United, and it's a home fixture. I'd probably say one of Diaz or Zinchenko. Do you think that Liverpool score, or do you think that Arsenal keep a clean sheet? Then just bench whoever you have. I'd probably bench Zinchenko though. Zaha or Bowen? Oh, Dwayne, I've gone for. I already answered that. Gregorian Law saying away, but good luck. Thanks to you too, brother. Should I start Antonio or Neco Williams? I'd start Antonio, but just slightly. I don't think Antonio starts. Hey, I think that Skamaka plays. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. Is it worth swapping Cucurella for Saliba? I'd keep whoever you have there. I'd keep Saliba and I'll keep Cucurella. Just a bit too sideways for me. Let me just... connections cancel it. Okay, let me check Twitter for you guys, and then we'll officially lock in the team. But the team has already been locked in, kind of. So I don't think there's going to be anything that changes it much. But yes, Haaland is the early kickoff. So if he blanks, just remember that you never back the early kickoff. What I will say is that we probably will just vice captain Maddison as a little bit of like a safety. I don't think there'll be too much in that, but it is what it is. Okay, I don't see anything. I don't see anything in terms of early team news. Looks like a pretty quiet week, guys, but I think we deserve a quiet week. Hopefully that doesn't mean a low-scoring week, but yeah. Okay, so then I think the team is going to practically be locked in. So for the next like 8 minutes, you guys can get your questions in, and I'll do a little bit of a quick fire round. Good luck. Here we go, says Full T. Who's better first sub, Nick Williams or Andreas? I'd probably just play Andreas first sub. Vice matters. How's your team value so high? I don't actually think it's that high, but maybe some lucky price rises have been the reason. Also, I have wildcarded, so you'd probably expect you'd probably expect the team value to go up over a wildcard. Sorry, I'm just cropping the selection so I can post it on Discord and YouTube. Post team in Discord. Yeah, I'm posting team as we speak in Discord, so you guys can go check it out. Okay, cool. It's on Discord and I posted on YouTube. Is De Bruyne to Foden a bad move? It's not a bad move. It's just a little bit of a sideways move. But if you need more value, then 100%. I just feel like a Man City transfer now before the Game Week 12 blank might be slightly redundant. That's what I'll say. Because I think it's a little bit too sideways for me. I'd probably just keep whatever you have. Check this. Okay, let me check. I've not been able to confirm this, but don't know the team yet. But okay, so apparently Daka might start against Bournemouth, but I think that was a prediction that we had. I think that's a prediction that we had that Vardy. I said that in the team selection. I think that Daka should start the next one, but definitely if you want to take a punt, I think that Daka is a good move. Kevin to Salah, good move. I'd keep Kevin and I'd keep Salah. Whoever you have on that side of the bandwagon, you just keep. Thanks Zaid for posting that though. Do appreciate it. But yeah, I think that Daka starts. Yeah, and then otherwise we've had nothing. That's the only thing that I can see is that potentially that Daka might play and Vardy might be benched. Sell Gross and buy Ramsey. No, I would just keep Gross. Last check in team news. I checked now, but as far as I know, the only early team news is Leicester, where Daka apparently starts and Vardy's benched. But that hasn't been confirmed. But if you do want to take a punt, I'd say Daka looks pretty Gucci. Sell Luis for who? If it's the Liverpool assets, I think you might as well just keep Gary. Keep till game week 12. Why vice captain Maddison over KDB? It's just in case anything freak happens at Man City. Let's just say that, I don't know. I don't want to even say what could happen because I don't want to put that on. But yeah, just say something happens and the game gets postponed. Then potentially we have a vice captain. Your vice captain should be from another team, Davey. Leon, it is on another team at the moment. Just check with me. I think I did post that. Yeah, so it's currently on Maddison. Only risk management. So yeah, so as D-Law says, it's just risk management. Palace, please. So I don't think we have early Palace team news, but I will check for you like 2 minutes before. But otherwise, just refresh. All of you are crazy if you aren't bringing Martial this week, says Zarif. I mean, he could bang. I mean, that's out of the, someone said in the chat, they said they expect him to score 2 goals. So that could be the case. Salah or De Bruyne. For me, Cliff, if you're on a wild card, I'd still probably go Salah. But if you're on your free transfers, I would just keep whoever you have. Son out to Sterling. I don't think the Son fixture is that bad this week. I think that Brighton could concede to Spurs. And Son's guaranteed to play because Kulusevski's out. City game should be good. Got a friend in the Etihad already and weather looks so nice. Wilson, it looks nice for absolutely no points from Haaland though because everyone's captaining him. So I don't want to see any tweets about Haaland scoring because none of us can celebrate because everyone has him. Worth a -4 for Maddison. Laurie, depends who you're taking out. If the play you're taking out is like a Bailey and you need Bailey to start, then I would agree with it. But if it's an option that like a Saka that could still get points, I probably wouldn't go there. What is the latest with Mitrovic? Apparently he was seen with the Serbian national coach. But, I mean, take from that what you want. But yeah, that's the latest. The latest was the press conference yesterday where the manager said he's a doubt for the weekend but should be back for Bournemouth. Still 2 minutes to go. Bring in Martial. I'm not going to bring in Martial. I think Martial didn't even enter my mind as a transfer in. So if he bangs, I can't even be mad because I didn't consider him. What I will say is that the majority of managers I am seeing over on Twitter are starting Mitrovic. So we're all in the same boat if this goes badly. But yeah, nothing at the moment in terms of early team news, guys. So safe to assume we're not going to get anything. And for the last 2 minutes, I'll just kind of go through a quick fire. Just swap Mitrovic to start and Justin bench. Could be going to be paying for Mitrovic as a cameo. But Mitrovic could have a cameo and score, so you never know. But I would be quite surprised by that. Mitrovic and Gordon to Zaha and Solanke for a hit. I don't like Mitrovic out if he's back next week. I wouldn't do that. I think Mitrovic in for the next few weeks is going to be stellar as long as he is fit for game week, the next game week onwards. Is it worth taking a -4 to take Holberg to get Trossard or Rashford, as Andrew? I'm not super confident in Holberg to get points, so that's like a 2-pointer. But Trossard doesn't have a good fixture this week. What I might just do is bank it for this week and do it next week after the Spurs fixture for Trossard. Uzi Automatic saying Martial definitely won't score. Carlo Gigi saying good luck, Davey. Good luck to you too, brother. Hope you have a safe weekend. Locked says Al Pacino. 1 minute left, so please get it locked in. What I'll do is I'll pop the refresh for you guys. Know how you guys love a refresh. So we have refresh there. The team is locked in. Gay or Mitrovic? I'd start Mitrovic and then just bench Gay for sub. Xhaka in for Saka. No, just keep Saka for this week. Thiago Silva, Chua or Cucurella. I'd say probably Silva, but I don't think any of those three are absolutely nailed, so it's quite tough. Take Barnes and thank me later. Sharab, it's a bit late to go for that. I've already done Zaha in and I want to take a hit. Just before the deadline, thanks for another quality stream, Davey. Thank you, Harry. Thanks for being a member that always kind of joins these streams and asks questions. Thanks for the little bits of banter, but thank you for also the complimenting the stream today. I'd always appreciate you guys joining and supporting me. Starting Perisic, benching Mitro. Yeah, I would have done the same, Sant. But guys, that's going to be the locked-in deadline. 2:30 my time, 1:30 if you guys are in the UK, but time is up and the team has been locked in. Haaland, captain, is probably going to score 5 goals, but we can't get any points gained from him anyways. The transfer in this week was Saka to Zaha, so hopefully that doesn't backfire, and hopefully Liverpool put in a good shift without Salah scoring or Trent getting any points. And otherwise, I'm hoping that the rest of the team kind of does well. I'm quietly confident this week. If you look at the team, a lot of home fixtures, yeah, a lot of good fixtures. So let's hope that it's going to be another close to 100 points, maybe even a 100-point game week, depending on how Haaland does. But otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Have a safe weekend, whether you are in the morning, afternoon, evening, on the Saturday. And thanks for joining the stream on a Saturday, as I always say. And hopefully the green arrows are in our favor. But I'm your son, Davey FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.